Alright guys, before we get started, I gotta tell you about the sponsor of today's video, Tonor. They are back with their Q9 condenser microphone. Now this is the second mic that Tonor sent over to me, and I gotta say this one is just as high quality as the last one. I know there are a lot of you out there trying to get started in podcasting, doing YouTube, Twitch, streaming really anywhere, whatever you're trying to do. Getting all the equipment you need together can be very expensive, and Tonor makes that very easy. These microphones are some of the best sounding budget microphones on the market. Most USB mics you're looking at anywhere from $100 to $150 just for the mic. That doesn't count all the other stuff you need to get to actually, set it up and make it work. Tonor gives you these kits. This one right here, everything you see right here all comes in the kit. The mic, the mount, the arm, the pop filter, everything you need comes in one kit. This one, $45. $45 on Amazon right now. I'll have the link down below. You can get this entire kit and get you started with whatever it is you're trying to do, whether it be podcasting or starting a Twitch stream. So a huge thank you to Tonor for their continued support of the channel. And if you guys want to check out these microphones, this one in particular, there will be a link down below. Let's get right into this video. I have been working on rearranging and cleaning out my kids' playroom for now two full days I've been doing this. It's definitely become a little, a lot more than I thought it was actually gonna end up being. There's so much stuff in here. There's these giant things. They have these little bins in them. A lot of them are these white wicker things, which I don't like. I'm changing them all to black because, I like black. Changing the curtains out, doing a bunch of stuff around here. And I look through these baskets and I start to, I'm finding things that are broken that I'm throwing away. I'm finding things that are, just old little things that, really don't need to be here anymore. They're, maybe baby toys that my kids don't play with anymore. Putting those in a bag to donate them somewhere. Then there's obviously the stuff that's gonna stay. The stuff that they play with. The stuff that's out, every day that they're here, they play with. The things that are actually used. But then there are a few things in this room, and I swear I'm coming around to a point here. There are a few things in this room that maybe aren't played with as much, but they're tried, they're tested, proven things, or maybe they have some sentimental value. And let me just grab one of these things as an example here. Now this barn and this little horse stall here, not the coolest toys ever, but they mean something. These are the ones that have been here for a long time. They have some sentimental value. Things like this, we just keep, My oldest has a little rabbit named Bun Bun. Bun Bun has seen better days. He's looking pretty haggard these days, but it's Bun Bun. We don't get rid of Bun Bun. But the reason I bring all this up, Bun Bun especially, may not be like the coolest, may not be the thing that matters really the most right now, but it's something you don't want to get rid of, something that's really hard to let go of. And I find myself doing that right now. I find myself having a hard time letting go of a couple things, and honestly, it's basically every other controller for the Nintendo Switch. Biggest one being the Pro Controller. Now you guys know I love my Nano. I love my Pro Controller, really like the PowerA Fusion, but I was sent a controller and it's in this case right here. And believe it or not, it actually comes with this case. This is just comes with it. I got an email from Gulikit the other day and they asked me if I wanted to try out their King Kong 2 Pro controller, and I said, sounds like a decent controller. It's got a lot of cool features, but I noticed one, and it was about the sticks, and they are claiming that these sticks cannot drift. And I'm gonna tell you all about this stuff, and I'm really sorry, guys, I've been in here working this whole time. We're gonna do the video back here, so enjoy the Barbie dream house, and let's get this video started. All right, so again, the first thing I really just want to show you guys before we get into the actual controller is this case. I was very surprised when I opened up the box and the controller was just sitting inside of this hard shell case. Now, is it the best hard shell case ever? No. It'll do the trick, it's fine. It's definitely, you know, hard plastic. The only bad thing about this, it doesn't have an actual hinge. It's just kind of like a thinner piece of the same, you know, plastic. So that's gonna wear out. That's probably gonna snap off eventually. But I mean, the fact that they just give it to you for free, that's a pretty good deal. I really like that. I think that's that kind of shows the quality that they're putting into this controller, and it continues from the time you open up that case pretty much throughout the controller. This controller, spoiler alert, is amazing. I really like this controller. I'm gonna start with the face buttons. They might be the nicest face buttons I've ever felt, I've ever used on a controller. They're pretty much perfect. They sit pretty low profile on the controller. And I mean, these things, they just feel amazing. It's really hard to explain because they don't feel like anything else. They actually have, they're built different. They have this little module underneath each of them. It's not just a regular, you know, membrane pressing a button on a control board, you know? They're almost like mechanical keyboard switches. They're in these little housings. I'll try to get a picture of one. I think they're on the website. I'll show you guys. But man, these things they're great. These are really, absolutely fantastic face buttons. And I want to give you a quick look at this thing really fast before I go any further. I can tell you this, if you have ever held an Xbox controller, this feels almost identical. It is basically the same shape as the Xbox controller. Like I said, the buttons are different, the sticks are very different. We're gonna go over that in a second. Lots of stuff is different about it, but the general shape and the distance between things, the overall feel is Xbox all the way. So you can see on the top right here, it connects to several different things. You can connect it to a Switch, obviously. You can connect it to Android devices, Windows. It has two little Windows symbols there. I'm not sure what the difference is between the two Windows symbols there. And you know I'm probably only gonna be using this thing for the Switch, so that's pretty much what we're talking about in this video. But going over the rest of the thing here, it's got, you know, your standard home button, your plus, your minus, your capture button. It's got another button that has a little settings wheel on it, and then there's another one that kind of has like a little picture over a picture. Now this thing has some crazy features, which we're gonna touch on later in the video. I'm not gonna go over all of them. I'll put the sheet up so you can see, but this thing does all kinds of stuff. The customization on this thing is incredible. There's so many different things you can change, you can adjust. As I said, we'll get into some of those as we go on, but it's got all your buttons you need. The D-pad, it's got a fine D-pad. There's absolutely nothing wrong with this D-pad. I would compare it to the new versions of the Power A stuff, kind of like the one that's on the Nano. It's good. It's not like the greatest D-pad ever, but it is totally fine. There's nothing wrong with it. Doesn't have any real flaws. The L and R button are very clicky. They're very tactile. They're very easy to push down. The triggers are analog triggers. You can actually adjust the sensitivity on the triggers too. That is all in the menu system. There's certain button combinations you hit. It's all in the little sheet you get with the controller. It's kind of confusing, I'm not gonna lie. That's why I'm not going over all of it in this video, but you can adjust the sensitivity. So if you're playing on the Switch, you don't have any analog control on the Switch. So you don't need that entire thing. So if you want, you can actually just set it so if you just barely touch it, that's how little it will take to actually make it do its thing, you know? You don't have to travel all the way down to the bottom, so that helps. If you wanna set that up, you can definitely do that. If not, you can leave it the way it is. It's totally fine that way too. Now, going over the rest of the features that this thing has, it will read Amiibo. It reads Amiibo. It does every single thing that the Switch Pro controller does. It also has these little grippies on the back here. I'll show you a better picture of those, but it's got nice grip on the back. It does have this soft touch texture. It's not the soft touch kind of feeling that you're used to. It's more of like I don't really know how to explain it, but it does look very good. It's a matte black. It does not hold fingerprints really at all. The only thing on this thing that holds fingerprints really are just these buttons, but I mean, it's a great looking controller. The silver, you know, buttons on top and underneath the sticks here, they look so good. So it also has rumble. It's adjustable rumble, so you can have it at like I think 5 different settings. There's lots of customization there. But these sticks, this is where the magic happens right here. These sticks are they're pretty incredible in what they do here. So this is not the first controller to have these. We did just hear about one of those Switch wannabe PC things that has these same type of sticks in it, but they're actually electromagnetic sticks. So in theory, nothing is touching anything. There's nothing rubbing against something else to make it wear. You know, there's no stress on anything like that you can put on these sticks because nothing's touching. It's all done with electromagnetic fields. It's kind of confusing, not gonna lie. I watched a little video on kind of how it works. I don't quite understand it, but I can tell you this. just moving these sticks around, these are the smoothest, most buttery feeling sticks I have ever felt in my life. There is just enough resistance, but there's no crunchy, there's just no bad feeling in these sticks whatsoever. It's like they're floating like in mid-air. It's kind of crazy to use these things. They feel really, really good. These things are called Hall sensors. Now, again, if you want to look that up, you can just type in YouTube Hall sensors. You can see how it works, but that's also actually what's going on in these triggers back here too. So it has that in these and the sticks on the top here, and I'm telling you, it's something. It really is something. They feel really, really nice. And as I said, they have a ton of different modes, different things you can adjust, things you can change. One of the things that we are gonna go over, like I said, I'll grab it right now. Give me 1 second. Okay, here we go. That's not the right side. So this is pretty much gonna tell you everything you need to know about the different modes of this controller. Let's just go over some of them real quick. We have motion sense aim on PC. It tells you how to set that up. So it does have motion controls as well. Also, it does charge with a USB-C port. It comes with a USB-C cable, a very nice one, a flat one. Very nice. There's a way to clear all the settings, so you can go right back to the original way it comes out of the box. You can adjust the trigger sensitivity, as I said, the stick sensitivity. There's a professional player mode, which, you know, not me, not us, right? Not for me. There's repeated shooting mode, which I'm guessing is some type of turbo function, I'm sure. Now this is cool. This controller actually has an AB and an XY swap. So you can actually make this controller without going into the menu of the Switch. You can make X act as Y and B act as A and vice versa. So it's going to play like an Xbox controller on your Switch, and you don't even have to go into the settings and change everything in your Switch menu, which is a fantastic thing. I just said in a previous video, which I'll link at the end of this, I was talking about, you know, things that people might not know about the Switch, and you can change them in the menu, but with this controller, you can just do it here, that's a big deal. And another thing I do want to mention, there's no software with this controller. Everything's done with different, as you can see, just different button combinations are really all that does it. So it's a very interesting way that they have this this set up. Now they also have the vibration settings, as I said, and that's basically it. But there's one that I skipped over that I do want to talk about, and it's called first-person shooter mode. Now, a lot of times, you guys know I talk about third-party controllers and the dead zone and the sticks. I always say, you know, if I didn't tell you, you probably wouldn't know that it's there. This has a dead zone, but it's a dead zone on purpose, and let me explain why. So as I said earlier, these are, you know, electromagnetic sticks, so any other magnet can affect them. So the magnet that's in like the speaker of my cell phone could affect them if it's close enough. So if they didn't have a dead zone at all, even just that little bit of pull would start to make it seem like it was drifting when it actually wasn't. So what they've done is put a little bit of a dead zone in here on purpose to keep things like that from happening. But there is what they call a first-person shooter mode, so you can take that completely off, and these sticks have absolutely zero, I mean zero, dead zone. They are the most sensitive sticks I've ever seen. You just barely even tap them and you can see them moving around. Honestly, it's pretty impressive what they've done with this controller. Now, price-wise, you're looking at 60 bucks. It's not a cheap controller, but with everything that this has, it has everything the Pro Controller has and a whole lot more. But I have to say, this thing is amazing. I'm gonna have a link down below where you can find this thing. It doesn't drift. That's something we've been dealing with forever. This is probably gonna be the controller I'm using all the time going forward. I really like it. I love the way it looks, love the way it feels. Again, affiliate links if you guys wanna check it out below. Obviously, you know, if you use those, it does help me out, so thank you very much. I do wanna remind you guys, Jeeb and I do shoot the podcast live on his or my Twitch every single Thursday night at 8 Eastern. Make sure you check us out there live or anywhere you can find a podcast. I'll have the link to that below as well. Quick shout out to my Patreons. Thank you guys so much. If you would like to join this little family here, I will have a link to that below as well. But guys, that is gonna do it for this one. As always, thank you so much for watching this video. Please leave a like. Make sure you are subscribed. Wish me luck finishing this. We'll see you in the next one.